Today we're talking about supercharged crime, guys. It's nutty out there right now in crypto and in the markets. So let's talk about it. First up, let's talk about the biggest sporting event in the world. Just kidding. It's the biggest one in America, the only place that counts, okay?
You're goddamn right.
But no, the Super Bowl is famously a super big, huge televised event in the United States. If you didn't know, if you live under a rock somewhere, gets more eyes than presidential inaugurations, guys. It's the biggest deal ever. It's the hottest place to advertise because you're guaranteed to get eyes on your product, on your ad, on your brand. It's a pretty helpful way, I think, to get an understanding of some larger businesses' business objectives if they're advertising during the Super Bowl. For industries like, say, crypto or AI, emerging industries or industries that have already emerged, it's a place to establish some sort of credibility to the American people, right? You get a Super Bowl ad, people take you a little bit more seriously. They may not have even heard of your product before, but now they're hearing about it. This is significant to us in the crypto space because we haven't had a crypto ad since 2022. And if you don't know what happened in 2022,
it's FTX. It's a safe and easy way to get into crypto.
I don't think so. And I'm never wrong about this stuff. Never.
FTX put out a very ironic commercial where they proved that Larry David was right. You shouldn't have invested in FTX. You shouldn't have put your money there. His sensibilities were correct. And Coinbase had like their little ad. Coinbase has a new ad that they put out during the Super Bowl, and it cost them a pretty penny. It was a minute long, so that's what, 600,000 times 60, approximately quadrillion dollars it cost them for this ad. When you factor in the Backstreet Boys payday, who also got airtime on the T-Mobile commercial. So they were working hard. Their fee must have been huge. Let's talk about the unpriced risk here. Okay, guys, what I want to talk about is what this ad signifies in combination with the other things we're aware of about Coinbase. Coinbase is emerging as the pretty much sole crypto provider for the Americans. If we want crypto, we pretty much only have one place to go, and that is Coinbase. Coinbase, headed by Brian Armstrong. He's advocating for our industry. He's out there onboarding the masses. He's doing base chain stuff, okay? He's doing creator coins or whatever. Binance has essentially been shut down and pushed out. They have a very small Binance US operation running. What this ad kind of symbolized to me when we look at what the ad is actually saying, it's kind of just celebrating their incumbent position. Coinbase has become the single point of failure for crypto in the United States. That's the unpriced risk for you. What this means in the short term is I fully expect Coinbase to continue to dominate the market if crypto interest continues. As Coinbase pushes for this new regulation through Congress, Coinbase is expected to profit massively because there's no one else to share the profits with. Is Robinhood going to allow staking? Possibly. Coinbase is going to be loading up after this regulation. So guys, that's your unpriced risk here, is possibly underexposed to Coinbase. You might be underexposed directly to Coinbase, guys. On the flip side, though, we now have a single point of failure. There is some risk here, and that if Coinbase does go down, Brian Armstrong slips up, okay, doesn't kiss the ring, the Epstein ring, he might be outed, and we're done. Next story I want to talk about here is Discord's face scanning KYC. If you haven't been around for a while, if you haven't transacted a lot in the DeFi Discords and the like, Discord is a very unique phenomenon in the crypto world. Discord is primarily a gaming communication app. My little cousin uses it to play Phasmophobia with his bros and Fortnite and all that crap, okay? It's not just for that. It's also not just for grooming minors. It's also for conducting elaborate crypto scams. There are some legitimate uses, and it grew very popular in crypto to use Discord as kind of like your personal forum. Many applications would funnel users to Discord for customer service requests, like as a help desk. You could go in there and interact directly with the development team, ask them questions. They might even respond. They're in the chat room with you. The only real competitor to Discord in this aspect was Telegram. The difference being Discord operates much more like a forum and Telegram much more like a chat room. Forums allow much more structured conversation around specific topics. You have a troubleshooting forum. You have a price chat forum. You have a development forum. You have a bullshit forum. In Telegram, it all kind of lumps together. And while you can't have multiple telegrams for your project, it's a lot easier to manage it in Discord in one place. Why am I talking so much about Discord? Well, Discord has announced a new KYC feature where they're going to be scanning your face. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Discord's primary use is for young people or old people, anyone to play games. That's really what they're aiming at. Streaming games, talking about live streams of games, playing games in the chat with each other. There's all sorts of features to integrate gaming into your Discord. Discord's been under a lot of pressure lately. Discord is a hotbed of a lot of crime, a lot of nasty, nasty crime, putting children at risk because they're bumping up against adults. It's all pseudo-anonymous. That pseudo-anonymity was what made it so popular with crypto users. Early on in crypto, and even still to this day, a lot of teams like to be pseudo-doxed or partially doxed, where they don't actually show their face. They don't have anything tying them to their identity. They have a handle that they go by. They have a Discord that they operate in. And that's kind of how they like it. Keep it a little cypherpunk. That option is now going to go away because that pseudo-anonymity also created threat surface area for all the children using the application and other nefarious actors operating on Discord. This is your unpriced risk here, okay? As they're implementing KYC measures, these face scannings where they stir your face in a database, ensure that account is you. What it's going to do is, one, make it a lot harder to scam on Discord, kind of positive. But two, a lot of crypto projects maybe don't want to do this. It runs contrary to the ethos of crypto, which is the same cryptographic, of just putting your name out there for anyone to see, or your face out there for anyone to see and tie it to your digital identity. Beginning already an exodus of crypto applications from Discord. For example, earlier this year, Morpho decided to shut down their Discord. Plenty of other applications are also turning their Discords into view only so that you can only view announcements on there. A sign that the industry is moving in a more professional direction? Maybe, maybe not. Here's my unpriced risk for you. Here's what I think people are not pricing into the market is now there is a premium on privacy. It's becoming even more difficult to maintain a private identity online. Solutions that guarantee that, things like XMR, to some extent, Zcash, and other privacy projects are probably going to be on the rise. What we need now, a private communication app. The team that can launch that and successfully scale that and bring that to market, I think will make a fortune. If you're aware of any teams working on that, drop them in the comments below. I want to know because I don't know any. All the crypto social media apps I've seen have flamed out horrifically. If we don't have that, then I think crypto as I knew it, as I grew to love it, is going to be dead and dying. The whole community building aspect of crypto, which was also a big draw of it, is also going to take a big hit as people lose the spaces that they need to organize effectively and build connections. It's not all Discord's fault. They do have to protect the kids, though. I actually commend Discord for this maneuver. Hopefully, crypto communities are flexible enough to work out some additional solutions. My final story here, possibly the biggest one, is Binance and Trump. Are they in love? It's hard to ignore the coincidence of Trump getting big into crypto with World Liberty Financial, USD1, and Trump Coin, and the subsequent release of CZ, who was the head of the largest crypto exchange in the world, Binance. It seems likely that there was some kind of relationship here, particularly with how active CZ became on crypto Twitter after his release. He is not supposed, as part of his partners, I don't think he's allowed to actually run a crypto exchange, but that doesn't stop people from assuming that he still does run Binance. On paper, he doesn't. He claims that he has no involvement in the running of Binance. He just kind of posts about his thoughts on crypto, but a lot of people seem to be of the belief, and I'm kind of there with them, that he might have some undue influence on their operations. Now, check out CZ talking about how he got parted.
The question that some people can kind of jump to is they think, what must CZ have done to try to get it? Do you want to put that to bed?
Well, I didn't do much.
So there's been a Forbes article that just came out that highlighted a lot more about the relationship between the Trump family's business interests and Binance specifically. Most notable Trump product on the crypto market right now is World Liberty Financial. World Liberty Financial issues a product called USD1, which is their stablecoin. I don't know anyone who uses it, but it's super popular on Binance. Binance owns or holds about 87% of the USD1 on their exchange. Now, this is a result of some promotions they're running, which is not unusual for Binance. I mean, they also hold about 73% of all USDE on the market. That's Athena's product. If you're familiar with Binance, they've been accused of wash trading in the past, meaning buying and selling assets just to generate fees or to simulate volume or activity. and sometimes to push prices around. Now, USD1's a stable coin, so it's probably not being price manipulated too much, but there are concerns about the buys and sells. Who makes money off of the fees generated by USD1 swaps? Well, Binance is the exchange for facilitating it, but also World Liberty Financial accrues those fees. A Trump family LLC owns 38% of World Liberty Financial, but they accrue 78% or so of the fees generated off of every sell of USD1. So basically, Binance just gave a bunch of money to this Trump family owned LLC, which in turn pays out President Trump through a trust that is set up in his name. It's not that complicated, but you could think about it like this. He's just funneling money from the LLC to his trust to his bank account. Very classic setup. One, save on taxes, and also to keep some distance between you and the money making. The largest exchange in the world, partnering with the president of the United States, crypto company, to possibly wash trade a bunch of this token. The rabbit hole doesn't just end there. In May, World Liberty Financial co-founder and CEO Zach Wyckoff said MGX, a state-backed Abu Dhabi fund, would use $2 billion worth of USD1 to invest in Binance, effectively placing $2 billion of reserves with USD1's custodian and boosting interest income for World Liberty's Financial's owners. The transaction helped lift USD1's market cap, improving its scale and visibility. It's a little fishy, I think, guys. Interestingly enough, like I said in the previous segment about Coinbase, Binance US is a pretty small operation compared to what it used to be, especially in relation to Binance as a whole. It's very peculiar that World Liberty Financial, the crypto company started by the Trump family, headed by Eric Trump or Donald Duck Trump or whatever the Trump son's name is, partnered with Binance, the largest exchange, a company that you as a U.S. citizen is not allowed to operate with. So this all has to be foreign funds, basically. Trump family has extremely strong ties to Binance. It's basically the key here. The tie is strong and it is apparent. What is the unpriced risk for us here? There's been a lot of Binance FUD recently. This guy, Leonidas, he points out a bunch of it. CoffeeZilla calls out CZ for corruption. Sitting U.S. senator says CZ is a criminal who financed terrorists and sex predators. Blames Binance for 1010 and current crypto crash. CEO of OKX calls out Binance's corrupt listing practices. Yada, yada, yada. The Binance slander always reaches a peak right before the market tends to rebound. People tend to blame Binance when the market goes down. They say Binance because Binance holds so much supply of so many tokens, including Bitcoin. People always assert that they are manipulating prices. Whether that's true or not, it's not for me to say. What I do know is if we were to assume Binance is corrupt, they are now in bed with the president of the United States. So a classic thing that people have said is if Binance goes down, crypto goes down. If Binance were to go down tomorrow, Bitcoin will wick down to 30K instantly. A whole bunch of liquidity be wiped out. As we saw in the 1010 event, when there was a little hiccup in their books, the whole market puked, okay? When Binance gets a cold, everyone gets the flu. What is the significance? What is the unpriced risk right now with Binance? Well, I don't think it's actually that Binance could go down. It's that Binance is now too big to fail. They're too powerful. I don't think the Trump presidency has got a lot of vested interest in Binance going down. I think they'll do whatever they can to assist them remaining solvent, at least for the near future. While in America, we stick with Coinbase, the Trump family's playing with Binance. I'll let you come to some conclusions about that. But that's been this week's unpriced risk assessment with me, Corval. If you think I missed anything major in terms of strange happenings in the markets or in the news, let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you next time. Adios.
Yeah, come on. Yo, this that spooky shit. That real spooky That's right. That GM Sonic shit. Hey, yo, Mr. Clean. Shout out to Dracula Presley. Corval.